So I think I'm live. I'm not totally sure yet because I haven't done this in a while. But if you see me and you hear me, more importantly, that means I'm live. So I really would appreciate if one of you, maybe Jacob, could put something in the chat and just confirm that you can see me properly. You should be seeing myself, the chat, and also Lichess on the left. If you can see those three things, then it's all good and we can start. Okay, so I'm being heard, I'm being seen, that's great. So this is the first time I'm doing a live on the channel. I've done many lives on my Spanish channel, although that was some time ago. And I'll be doing one of these every time we hit 1,000 subscribers. And if I enjoy it, I might even do a few more, maybe every 500 subscribers. Once or twice a month would be nice. I'll try and do on the weekends in different hours. So again, hello to Jacob, thanks for coming along, and hello to Hunduza Chess. Hello, sir. Now, what are we going to do in the live streams? Because this will be published in the live section of the channel. Well, I would like to play with some of you guys. So to be able to play with you guys and have a good time, you need to challenge me. So the way to challenge me, and anyone can challenge me, is as follows. You need to connect to Lichess and send me a challenge to my nickname and put a casual game, for example, 3+2 blitz. If you don't feel comfortable playing 3+2, you want a bit more time, then we can go 5+3, but not much more than that. If not, we won't have time to play several games. If you're uncomfortable sending me a challenge, just put your nickname in the chat and I'll challenge you. So we can do it both ways. Just put your Lichess nickname in the chat and tell me what time you want to play and I'll challenge you guys. So maybe Jacob or Hundoza, if you'd like to play a game, then we can get going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play these games. I'm going to be in silence while I play them. I might say something comical, but I won't talk about the game. And then when the game finishes, we'll go over it and see where we made our mistakes and where we could have improved. So it's a good way to learn and have fun at the same time. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, says you only accept challenges from friends. That's incorrect. I'm going to change that now. And if not, just give me your Hundoza, give me your Lichess and I'll send a challenge to you straight away. I'll try and change that now anyway. Let's see, preferences. I actually don't know where to change this. Maybe in privacy. Yeah. Let other players follow you. Yes. Let other players challenge you. Always. Let other players always. Yeah. For some reason I changed that. So now this has been changed. So you should be able to. You should be able to send me one now. There you go. And let's see if it's here. Okay. So who is sticker one? Please. Is it one of you guys? Sticker one. Is it you, Jacob, or is it you, Hundoza? Who is sticker one? Just to get to know who I'm playing against. Okay, Jacob. So I can see you, and we're going to play. And Hundoza, I'll take your challenge afterwards. Okay. So let's go and see how this goes. Good luck. Let's start with sticker, and then we'll go to Hundoza. You can actually see this on the screen. Okay, sticker. Here we go. Now, as you know, I can't talk much when I'm playing because my opponents will also listen to what I'm saying. But I will say I'm going to try and use my 1e4 repertoire, my chessable repertoire, as much as possible. At least that is something that I promise to try and do. So this is actually part of my repertoire with white. But I can't say anything else. as you probably noticed, I always play in Zen mode because now today I know who I'm playing against because we're challenging each other. But when I play for practice, I generally don't want to know who I'm playing against, neither if he's good or it's bad. I just don't want to know. So I play in Zen mode with no distraction, just the board and time. It's actually quite a good idea, I think. For everyone else who's just arrived, I'm doing a live session here, playing 3-2 casual games against subscribers. So if you want to challenge me, just send me a challenge on Lichess, 3+2, casual game, and you'll be on the list as soon as I finish my first game. If you feel uncomfortable challenging me, then you can put your Lichess nickname in the chat and I'll challenge you guys. Try and keep it 3+2 with casual games, because if they're casual, then it's good for both of us. No one lose rating. We just have a good time and that's it. And even if you're a bit nervous playing against me or I'm nervous, then it doesn't go for rating. And 3+2 does allow us to play a few more games. I can see the chat here. The board, it could be bigger, but it's not bad. I'll try and make it a bit bigger on the next for the next game, but I think it's okay. I think the viewers can more or less see the board here. The bishop on f6 is very strong for those who are watching the game. This bishop here is very strong. And yeah, I was threatening to bring the queen here. Okay, so the first game is finished. Jacob, it was a pleasure to play against you. And now, if you want, I hope you do, just say in the chat if you want, please. We can go over the game. If you want, we can go over the game. If you prefer not to go over the game, I'll just leave it as it is. But I think we could both enjoy going over the game. So what you have to do is just... Yeah, 1,700 FIDE is quite good. I have several students with this sort of level. But let me tell you where you made your mistake, because I more or less know, and it will be good for you. So when I go over the game, what I normally do is click on the analysis board, okay? And although it already gives me the blunders, as you all know, underneath there's a bar. And this graphic is quite useful because it easily tells you where you started to go wrong and if you make mistakes. It also gives us the accurate score. For example, in this game, Lichess has given me an accurate score of 95%, which is very big. But I didn't make many mistakes, so it's high. That's why you can't really take much notice when someone says someone's cheating because of a high accuracy score. I did 95% here, and I'm playing against you guys, so it's quite easy. Now, you played the opening correctly, but there's one mistake that you should try not to make anymore. And I'm going to tell you this mistake. Up to here, it's good. But as I explained in my repertoire, Jacob, what you want to do is to bring the knight to e7, but only when I've played f4. So for example, if I play, instead of queen to d2, let's say I play f4 here to play knight to f3, then you can play knight to e7 perfectly well. You can castle. And here there are several ways to go, but rook to b8 is quite reasonable, or knight to d4. And then if I try with g4, then you block with f5. Now this is theoretical and very reasonable. I even have this in my repertoire for black. However, If I play queen to d2, you should really leave your knight on g8 a few more moves. You have to wait until I play f4 to bring your knight out. Because when you bring your knight out, bishop to h6, castle, h4, although the computer says black is okay, I can tell you this is a very tricky way to play with black. Very, very tricky. There are quite a few games where black can easily fall under a big pressure and actually a very quick mating attack. So you can play d6 and e6, you can play knight to e7, but try to wait until I've played f4 before you play knight to e7. And as I explained in my repertoire, you can play, for example, there are many moves here. You can play knight to d4 is one of the most popular, rook to b8 with the idea b5. b5 straight away isn't good because of knight takes b5, but rook to b8 first and then b5. You can play queen to a5. There are several decent moves, and I, at the same time, might play knight gt2, but at some point I have to play f4 because I lose my, I don't get enough moves, and then you play knight to e7. So, well played. Check this out, and of course, after h4, d5, h5, I mean, the game plays by itself. I could have captured with the queen here, but I think capturing with the pawn is okay, because here I did see queen to g5 and queen to f6, but I thought that if I played queen to g5, you would somehow try and move your knight. But now I'm seeing that you actually don't have any squares for your knight, and that is a problem for you. And I am threatening queen to f6. So queen to g5 was probably better. However, my bishop to g5, and if you captured here, I was thinking of playing bishop to f6, threatening queen to h6. I think you're in trouble in this position, but maybe you could have held on a bit more. After d4, well, basically the game is over because you can't stop queen to h6. So I hope you enjoyed the game and the analysis, and the next time we play, I'm sure things will go much better. Okay, f4 closes the diagonal. Yes, exactly. When I play f4, there's no longer bishop to h6, and then you can play knight to e7. So you can check this out also. If you want, you can always go down here. When you finish the game, you actually should do this regularly, which is to go down underneath here, open up the master's database, and here you can check all the possible moves. As you can see, rook to b8 in the master's database is the most placed moved, knight to d4, but knight g to e7 is already suffering quite a bit. There's a 40% score. However, in the Lichess database, knight g to e7 is the most popular move, and that's why this is a good line to play at levels between 1,500 and 1,900, because a lot of players will just play knight g to e7, and here, as you can see, white is scoring 60%. So take this into account, guys. Okay, so thanks for the game, and if it's okay with you, Jacob, I might cut this one and put it on the channel as an instructive video, because I think a lot of people can take advantage of this knowledge. Let's go to the second game. I think Hunduza was waiting for me, and Hunduza, good luck, and let's go. Oh, I get white again. Nice. French. Okay, I'm going to play the same repertoire as I suggest in my Chessable repertoire course. This is not sponsored by Chessable, but I did bring the t-shirt for the day. I'm trying to remember what I suggest in my course, and I just can't remember. I think it's knight takes d4, but yeah, I can't remember which of the lines that I play. Oh, now this bishop e7, I don't think is the correct move, and if it is, It's something I don't know, so this is new for me. Okay, so give me a second. Let's see if I can take advantage of this. I don't actually see how, so let's just swap on c6. Let's try to play a bit faster. I really should capture the pawn, although I might be making a mistake here, but yeah, I think I have to really capture this pawn and now go here. If it's a mistake, it's a mistake. But that's the move I saw. I've calculated this before. I think this is winning material. I think. You can never be sure, but I think this is winning material. But you can never be sure. You can never be sure, my friends. You can never be sure. Because these two pieces will be here afterwards with some sort of pin. But in any case, I have to go this way. It's a blitz game, and this is what I calculated, so. Let's see what Henduza does. Now I can actually capture with the rook, which is probably even better. Okay. I have an extra piece, so this should be winning. But I still have to play carefully. Okay, so this I think I can exchange and play bishop to e5. Yeah, this looks good. He's going to capture on here. I'm going to capture here. And this should be a simple win. Two bishops and a pass pawn is a win. Okay, so that was a nice game. Henduza, would you like to check it out like we did before with Jacob? I think it could be instructive to use the analysis board to check it out, but only if you want to. So just say in the chat if you'd like to analyze the game with me. Sure thing. Fantastic. Okay, so let's do the same as we did before. So let's click here on analysis. And first of all, I always like to go down to see the graph. I think that's very useful. I'm actually trying to convey the way you guys should also analyze your blitz games and rapid games, possibly the rapid games even better. When you finish a game, don't just start a new one. Unless you want to play 3 or 4 in a row and then analyze all of them. But I would actually suggest playing a game and then analyzing. You go to analysis, you go underneath, and you check the bar. So here, can't see it very well, so I'm going to change the background. Backgrounds. We're going to go for dark. Yeah, I think this is probably slightly better for the. So here, this is quite unbelievable. I just clocked a 100% actuary game, which is, I mean, it's amazing. So next time when someone tells you that he's played 100% a blitz game, you just see this is actually unbelievable. I think this is the first time in my whole life that I've clocked 100%. I've clocked a lot of times 96, 97, 95, 98. I've never done 100%. Okay, and you actually only made one mistake according to Lichess. So let's check out the game. Up to here, we were playing theory. This is completely theoretical. You can check out the details in my course. But here, in my course, and most players capture on d4. And if you want to draw, you capture with the queen. And if you want to play for a win, you capture with the knight. And I think that I recommend in my course the line with queen to e2, sacrificing the pawn on h2. With threats like knight to f5. I think I'd have to remember perfectly, but I think this is the line I recommend. And actually, this is one of the lines of the Tarash. But you played bishop to e7, which allows me to play knight to b5 or knight to c6. And it is theoretical. So in fact, it has been played a lot of times. I didn't know that, but I actually played the best move, which is knight takes c6, because I thought if you exchange queens, you'll end up with a weak pawn on f3 and c6, which is okay for me. And on the other hand, if you play queen takes c6, I thought that at some point I could attack your queen, maybe get a check on b5. I thought I would have the initiative here. So you exchange queens. And this, although it's equal, computer says +1, it's more equal for me than for you. I have a clear idea, which is to transfer the bishop to f3 and accumulate pressure on the c6 pawn. And you don't have very many clear ideas. But what I would suggest is that here, instead of castling, I think maybe you should have played c5 to prevent bishop to f3. However, I do have bishop to b5 check in this position, which I did see and I would have played. And now you have to lose your castling rights. So it's one evil or the other. It's one of the two. Okay, so you played castle, I transferred the bishop. This idea is very important. If I don't do this idea, then you'll play rook to d8, you'll swap off the rooks, and the game would end up in a draw. But with this idea, now I'm hitting this pawn and it's strong. So, rook c8, bishop to e3, hitting this pawn, knight to d5, I take the pawn, and now it's downhill. I thought you had to do this, and maybe here swap off my bishop. Okay, now I see that I have rook to d7, but I'd have probably captured with the pawn. Okay, I think I'm still better. I must be better here. But at some point, if you can exchange the bishop for the knight, end up with this bishop, try and find some way to draw, but it's still very difficult. But bishop f6 allows knight to d7, and this I'd calculated beforehand that would win material for me, as you showed during the game. And this is just quite easy because I just simplify in that set. So basically here, you played bishop to e7 instead of knight to d4. That's a small inaccuracy. And then the most important mistake is allowing me to transfer my bishop to f3. Then the last mistake was the tactical bishop to f6 mistake you made. For the rest, the game was quite decently played. Okay, so hello Antonio as well. I have to turn off my PC to challenge you one game. Okay, I'll be here still some time, so you can have time to challenge me if you want, Antonio. No problem here. I'll play at least 2 or 3 more games. Okay, so now I'm going to take the challenge of Tamaya06. Now, because whoever Tamaya is, can you put your name in the chat so I can see who am I playing against? Maybe against Tamaya Tripathy. Is that who I'm playing against? And Handusa, that was a nice game. And also, I would like to have your permission if I decide to put this one as an independent video on the channel. Okay, so I think it must be Tamaya Tripathy. So let's go with the game, Tamaya. Here we go. Again, it's white. I mean, this is unbelievable. So let's carry on with our. So a Sicilian again. I'll play again the same line and see how it goes. Okay. Here against G6 straight away, I can play G3. I can also play F4, which is the Grand Prix attack. Okay, let's just play our repertoire, and that's it. So as I was saying before, I'm actually repeating the repertoire I've done for Chessable. Antonio, remember we're doing an English stream today, so if you want to speak in Spanish, there's no problem, but I'll be doing everything in English on the chat, so you should try and practice your English. Yeah, always friendly. 3 + 2, casual. Please, Antonio. Tell me what either challenge me or put your nickname here on the chat. Okay, so I'm going to carry on with my repertoire, see how it goes. I'll play the same idea I did before against our friend Jacob. I'm expecting knight to c6 here. There you go. Now I don't want to play f4 yet, so what I'm going to do is first knight g to e2. Let's see what Tripathy does in this game. Will he repeat knight g to e7 like Jacob did in the first game, or will he play b5 or rook to b8, knight g to e7? So again, we go for our move bishop to h6. This is explained in the repertoire. And if and when he castles, then king to f8. Do you want to change your move? Was this a misclick or was it on purpose? It could be on purpose. He's played king to f8. In any case, I'll go h4. If it's a misclick, well, I'm really sorry. He might have done it on purpose. Okay, so now he's attacking the bishop. And normally I would exchange here and continue attacking with h5. I might decide to long castle here now. Of course, here I won't get the decisive attack I had with Jacob, but I do have some pressure on the king's side, so I'm actually quite happy with the outcome of the opening. Okay, now he wants to close. Should I allow him to close or should I capture first? I think I ought to capture. And now I can play long castle. Now let's see how this game goes. I'm expecting knight to f6, e5. This does allow me to put my knight on d5, which I'll do very quickly. And I think I might allow him to capture here because then I can put the bishop on e4. So what I should do is try and increase the pressure on the king side. But first I'll play king to b1. Aha, okay, so let me check now. I think we have to allow him to exchange. So let's put the pressure up with f4. We're going to go and attack his king if we can. Bishop to g4, okay. I don't mind him capturing here. But I don't want him to put the pawn here, the bishop here. I'm going to play c3 here to prevent knight to d4. play this move here as a pre-move. Rook to b8. This means he wants to go with this move here. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all. So I'm going to play rook to h4, hitting the bishop. He's going to play h5, most probably. And I have an idea here. Now I'm going to play rook to h1, unpinning. And I think this here could be a problem because of this square on g5. But I'm not sure about this. We'll know very soon. So here we go. We'll start off with f5. This does allow my queen to go here because of the move h5. Will this work for me? We'll know very soon. Also f6 is a threat. Maybe rook takes bishop will be a threat at some point. Okay, so now I have to be careful. I should take first here. Now I have to calculate. Okay, let's see. Queen to g5 is the move that my intuition tells me is the best, but then he plays knight takes f5. Pawn takes pawn is possible. He'll take knight takes. Not good. Bishop to e4. f6 check. Rook to f1 check. I think this is the move. I'm not sure about this. I might be mistaken, but this is what I've decided. Okay, and now I need to play an aggressive move. Which is my aggressive move to play? I think it has to be this one here. Not sure about this. I had a very good position. Now I'm not sure. Rook to f8. Low on time. I'm going to lose this one. Come on, Michael. Find some strong moves. Keep the position closed. And good things will happen to me. This is a good move. Let's go back. Ah, it doesn't allow me to play. Oh, this was a good one. Actually wasn't a very good move, this one, but anyway. Now I'm just low on time. Okay, let's unpin. Let's go here. I have an idea in mind. I wanted him to go here, but I'm not sure if this is going to work for me. Yes, so this is what I wanted to do. Will this work, Michael? Will this work? Will this work? And I wanted to play this. Oh, I didn't see this one. Ah, nice one. Nice one. I have to resign. Nice one. Nice one. Nice one. Very nice. I didn't see that. Very nice. I have to resign. Well played, Tanmaya. Very well played. I was hoping... I didn't see this move here. This is very good. And I was hoping to get a perpetual check here. But, okay, so let's see what I did wrong. Let's play the analysis board. Because now I want to analyze it, so that's okay. So, here I played quite badly, 69%. You played very well, although not so good at 70%. And I had a chance here to get back into the game. So, key moments here. This position... So I'm happy with the opening. The opening outcome for me is very good. I'm very happy. I would do this again. Up to here, I would more or less play the same as I did in the game. I don't have any extra material, but your king is weak, and I do have some good things going for me. Now, what I shouldn't do is this move here. It seemed good at the time, but this is very strong, and I didn't have a chance to take advantage of this situation. I thought I could put my queen here afterwards, But what I didn't see is that my knight is hanging all the time. So this move, rook d to h1, was not good. And it seems that knight to e3, hitting the bishop, take, this would have been much better for me. And now f5 on the next move. And all my pieces are attacking your king. I have no weaknesses. Computer says I'm +2 in this position. So this would be better for me. But I didn't see it. So you started attacking. Now it was an attack on both sides of the board. And here I make a decisive mistake. I just didn't know what to do here. I played f6, thinking that I could bring my rook and maybe put my queen here. But this was bad. I should have taken this pawn, but I didn't take it because I saw knight to f5 hitting the rook. And I was worried about this move. But okay, I should just go back and play this position. So this was bad. You took. Check. And now I wanted to play queen to g5, but I didn't realize that first of all you have this, and second, I think you could even capture my knight. So this was all very badly played by me. And now you're winning. All your moves here were very good. I mean, b4, queen to f6. I mean, look, you can just see your moves, each of them. a3 was very bad. But actually what I wanted to do was for you to check me here, and that would allow me to play rook to f2. That was my only idea. And it more or less worked, but now I'm losing. Even though you made a weak move, I'm still losing. I'm totally losing here. Yeah, it would have been nice if you didn't have this check. Maybe here I could get a perpetual check. Let's check. Yes, here. So my idea wasn't so bad if you'd have captured the bishop. But yeah, this is crushing, and I have to resign. So Tamaya, well done. Let's go for another game against by Anton, who probably is Antonio Moreno. Okay, so let's take by Anton, and here we go. Black pieces this time. Good luck, Antonio. Antonio has to play the Under 2000 Seville Championship next week, so he'll get a chance to play a practice game. Hi, Alvaro. Okay, but Antonio, you have to play your move. If you don't, we have a problem. Thanks, Tamaya. Well done. Well played. It was close, this one. I think I did have some chances, but the most important parts of the game, you played better than me. But the opening, I'm quite happy. And I suggest you check my game with Jacob, the first round game, to understand why not to play knight to e7 so quick. I think I've got time for 2 more games, this one and another one. So let's try and get 2 more games in. Thanks, Fran Jose Centeno. Appreciate. Okay, let's play this development. See how it goes. So Fran Jose is talking about the Mente del Maestro, which is a series I did in my Spanish channel, In the Mind of a Master, where I would play games 3+2 games. 10+5 games, rapid games, and explain my thoughts along the way. And I was thinking of recovering this, getting back to do this section, but in the English channel at some point. So, Frank, you can see it on the English channel soon. I'm more focusing now on my English content because of my work in FIDE, which allows me to practice my English much more. So that's my focus. 2025 will be basically on my English channel to try and grow it, and also that allows me to practice my English. For me, this is very important, to be able to practice regularly my English. So when I go traveling with FIDE, I have a better grasp when I'm questing players and doing stuff with the team. Okay, let's focus. Not sure about this, what I'm doing here. I'm not totally sure I've done this correctly. So I'm not winning the pawn back. He's attacking this one. I messed up something here, but okay, I have to carry on. I think I messed up a bit here, but what to do? Not sure where I went wrong. I thought I was playing okay. Maybe I should have taken on g3 with the bishop, not with the knight. Yeah, maybe that was the idea. Okay, what to do? Actually, I'm just worse. I'm going to lose a pawn, most probably. I should have taken on g3 with the bishop, then on f3, and then on d4. Yeah, that was what I should have done. I'd actually seen it. I just don't know why I changed my mind in the end. Yeah, I have to go into this ending and just try and hold. Okay, so how to hold this ending? How to hold this ending the best way possible. How to hold this ending the best way possible. I think I have to go here. To hit here and force him to play this and then block with the bishop. Yeah, this is what I think I have to do. Okay. Did he offer me a draw? I think he offered me a draw. I didn't see. Maybe he did offer me a draw. I'm going to offer him one just in case he wants it. But I think he offered me a draw. I just don't know now. Did he offer me a draw? Let's just repeat a few moves and see if he wants the draw. Yeah. Good game. Yeah, I was in trouble there by Anton. I was in trouble. Should we do the analysis? Let's do the analysis. Now, here, so it wasn't so bad. We actually played quite well. I played 96% and you played 96%. So we actually played, both of us, we played very well. But I think the key moment, Anton, at the end, yeah, even though you have an extra pawn, it's very difficult to win this game. As you can see, the computer's giving a draw. So I think the key moment, for me at least, was here. And here I think that instead of playing knight takes g3, I should have played bishop takes g3. And now I can decide if I want to exchange here and capture this pawn. And then the game would probably end in a draw because you'd get the pawn back, but this is just a completely equal position. This is what I should have done, and the game would be a draw, but each of us would have equal material. But the way I played it, here, you can already see that you've won a pawn, and I have to find the way to try and find the defense. So you played very well, and maybe in this position you could have played better. I was actually worried about this move here. And if I capture, I lose this pawn here. And I do think that this position, okay, maybe I have some counterplay and I can end up with a draw, but it's very unlikely. I think you're better in this position. But what to do? It was a close game. Okay. Antonio, well done. Okay, so let's take another game. This, I think, will be the last one because I had the hour. And I'll be taking on, it has to be casual. So I'm going to take on Ololotudum, who will play casual 3+2 against me. I don't play rated when I do my explain games because I'll just drop all my rating, as you can see, because when I'm explaining and doing things on the stream, my level of play is a bit lower, so I have to be a bit careful. Okay, so for this course, I'm doing the chessable openings. So I'm going to play the 4 knights, but I normally play the Spanish. Thanks, Antonio. Have a good one. Oh, so this might allow me, let's see, if I take, you take, I take, don't get advantage. So let's play bishop to b5. If he goes bishop to d7, we might get the Tarrasch trap. Let's see if I'm lucky. Actually, shouldn't talk too much because you guys can listen to me on the stream while I'm discussing the move. So I don't think it's a very good strategy to play aggressive at games when you guys can listen to what I'm saying. So I'll have to be a bit careful from now on when I actually suggest moves talking. I think it's different if I play with some colors because you're probably not looking at the stream, but you can hear it, so I have to be careful. I did have the possibility of putting a delay on the moves, but I decided not to do it. But that's something I could consider, to put the delay. Okay, see here I like to exchange and go e5. This is something I've done before, and it usually works out very well. I leave the opponent with four weak pawns. I've done this before in other games, and it's something I enjoy doing, and I enjoy playing this type of positions. It's I have a pawn down, but I think the compensation is very good. But it's been nice to do this 1 hour stream, so I think I'll do it more often. Maybe every 500 subscribers I'll come along and play some games, or every other Sunday. I'll see what I can do. Just keep looking at my normal videos, and there I'll tell you what day I'm coming to play. And I'll make a note of the names I've played against so we don't repeat the same games against the same players. I think that's also fair. Okay, so now I'm going to put my queen on c4, but first I'd like to see, I think I should play this move first. This is pins, but also it can drop back here, and it allows me to bring the rook to d1. So this is generally quite a good move. And if he plays h6, then he'll be very weak on the light squares. So I'm quite ahead on time now. I do have a pawn down, but I think my position is quite good. Let's bring the rook to the center. I'm going to bring the other rook here. As you can see, I'm not trying to get the pawn back quickly. I'm just trying to improve all my pieces. And if I play correctly, then at some point the pawn should drop. I mean, he has just too many pawn weaknesses. So I'm not very worried to get the pawn back fast. So let's play b3 here. We don't want to lose this pawn. And now I'm thinking of queen to c4, or maybe take here and knight to e4. The two ideas I'm considering. He plays knight to d5. Okay, so if I take, that will not be good for me. Normally I should play knight to e4 here. That's the traditional move. So let's play knight to e4, blocking the pawns. This bishop can reroute here as well. And of course, my next move would be c4 to push his knight away as soon as possible. Queen can come to c4, rook come to e1. I have a very good position. Bishop to e7. This will allow me to get my pawn back, but I think that when he's low on time, I shouldn't be exchanging too much. So what I'm going to do is play c4. And now if he takes, I can take with the knight. Oh, he has knight to c3, but I have queen to h5. Might have made a mistake here. Just as well. Okay, so now what should I do? Which is the best move here? Normally I should take here and put the rook on the 7th. Okay, let's get the rook in. Let's get the rook in as fast as possible. Queen to g4 is another move I'm going to play as soon as possible. Okay, let's bring the queen in. Now I'm threatening to take here and mate. Yeah, this is going to end very soon now. Check. And yeah. So my strategy was correct, but let's check with the analysis board to make sure the strategy is correct. Okay, so let's click here and see what it thinks. Okay, so my strategy was correct. I clocked 95% accuracy, which is huge for the game I played. And as you can see, I had the advantage all the way along. Never much, but I was always a pawn down, but the computer gives me more than enough compensation. So I would do exactly the same thing again. I mean, practically no mistakes, as you see. Up to here, I played very decently, so I'm happy with this game. Bishop to e7 is a mistake, and I could have captured. I didn't see this. Get the pawn back, double here, and queen takes e5. This was winning, yes. And if he'd played, when I played c4, if he'd played bishop takes, of course I can play pawn takes knight here, which is something I would have considered. But I was thinking this, and against this, I now see that I have queen to c2, threatening mate and the knight. So the game, I think, was quite well played for the whites. And I hope Oladuke doesn't mind if I use this for also the explanation of the course, because I do play the 4 knights. I propose the 4 knights in my course, but against knight f6, of course, d4, but also against d6, if I'm not mistaken, I suggest that d4 is still the way to go, and afterwards play bishop to b5. So with permission of Oladuke, I'll put this always also in my course. Okay, so I did an hour. I hope you enjoyed. And for those of you who will see the stream during the week, I hope you can get some value and instruction from the games, both the ones I've won, but also from the one I drawed and the one I lost. I think all the games can give you some better understanding of the repertoire with white, but also the things I'm more or less thinking about during the time I'm playing the game. For example, this game here, I think it's very interesting to see how I sacrificed the full pawn to get a weak structure, but then I didn't think of getting the pawns back. I just tried to play good positional chess, and the weaknesses will manifest themselves sooner or later. Guys, it was a pleasure, and see you soon in the next stream. Take care, improve, and follow my videos more importantly. See you guys.